Welcome back to the Kane and Day Show. I am your host, Kane. You can find me on Twitter at Killing Kane and YouTube at Killing Kane. We are going to talk about the NFC Championship round. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and let's get into the nitty-gritty. We only have 2 games to talk about this week. You're muted. No.
The camera's just warming up.
Okay.
Day, you can find me on Twitter at Realdaygaming1. Follow the show on Twitter, Kane and Day Show.
Do it. We weren't very active over the weekend, but you know, it's neither here nor there. We had some great football this weekend. First though, let's get into a little beef going on with first year rookie Kayvon Thibodeau. Honestly, I get he's a rookie, but what he did today was just being a loser. Let's be honest about that. You say your team looked better than the 49ers. Well, here's the thing. The 49ers had no quarterback.
No, that is true. They had no quarterback.
At all.
They put their starting back out with a torn UCL. So
yeah, not good.
Essentially nothing.
Let's go back to that New York Giants and Philly game, right? It's an in-conference game, for one. 2, they completely stopped Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones was a top 10 guy this year when you look at his stats.
Yeah.
When you look at his stats, he was a top 10 guy. Saquon Barkley was in the top 3 this year. That offensive line has been good for the Giants, but not when it came to the Eagles' pass rush. And then Joe Staley, 49er guy, goes, what are you even talking about? And then he hits him with the, I don't even know who you are. Excuse me? It's just a dumb thing to, put yourself out there like that. Your team lost. Cancun on 3, baby.
Yeah, they're both golfing. Come on now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's get into the weekend, though. Man, these games did not turn out how I think a lot of people expected.
Oh, the second one did, but
we'll get into that. I think we may vary in opinion here. But let's jump into the first game. First drive for this 49ers team, and you really hate to see this after all the success that they had, but here's the thing, it's football, crazy shit happens, and they literally ran into the wall. They lost Brock Purdy on the first drive of the game. Josh Johnson comes in.
13th team in 10 years.
Yes.
A 4th time on the 49ers.
He came in, didn't really throw the ball much. Let's see, 7 for 13 for 74 yards.
And I don't think any of those went further than 15 yards.
No. And then Brock Purdy couldn't even throw past 5 yards because he tore his UCL.
I think they should just let Christian just air it out, or Debo. Just let one of them.
Brock, distraught. You could see it on the sideline. He wanted to be out there. He wanted to be playing. If he was in the game, it'd probably be a little different. I still think the outcome would be the same regardless. Because when you looked at this Eagles defense, especially on that first drive, Hassan Reddick is an absolute animal, and how he's not even in the conversation for Depoy blows my mind, because he's played phenomenally all year long in his first year in Philly. Playing for his home team, and that dude has balled out. He has been a menace to offensive lineman. Brandon Graham should be come back. Dude has been, this D-line has been gross.
They were flying last night, or I guess yesterday afternoon.
They were, and let's not even mention the secondary, dude.
Reddick almost stole the ball on a play action.
Right.
That was like 2 feet from being taken because he took the ball.
Yeah.
Josh's knee happened to be down though.
But he was also the guy that when they fumbled again, he came up with the grab.
That Eagles defense had Josh Johnson so scared he couldn't catch a snap.
Not even to mention he couldn't hear Kyle Shanahan because that stadium was loud.
I mean, I'm sure Brock wouldn't have been able to either.
No. But yeah, Christian McCaffrey probably winning the brightest spot on this team. 15 rushes for 84 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown he ran was absolutely nutty. He pinballed off 3 dudes, got scrunched, and ran a touchdown. Broke out of it, ran free. Dude is an absolute animal, and this 49ers team, like, don't get down. You guys had a fantastic season. Reporters after the game talking to George Kittle, you saw super frustrated because George Kittle is one of the most, like, dudes that love this sport. He's the ultimate competitor. And the fact the reporter asked, how does it feel not having a quarterback out there? He's like, you know what? It's fucking shitty.
Wow.
Like,
he's honest.
You have to be.
Yeah.
It's how it is. Who cares? You get fined for that. It's fucking shitty. Like, and then Brock in his post-conference thing saying, hey, like, I didn't do enough. Like,
you played 3 plays.
Right, but the thing is he took accountability. Right?
What? His arm getting hit because an
lineman
couldn't stop somebody?
Right, but that's the thing that, like, we've talked about this in the year. Who was it earlier in the year that we're saying, Zach Wilson, right? Zach Wilson plays like shit, and he's like, that's not my fault. But fucking Brock Purdy tears his UCL and says, nope, it's all me. Like, it shows a maturity for a rookie quarterback, especially being in your first conference game and just kind of thrown into the whole mess to come out and just, do what he needs to do. Fred Warner comes in and says, nah, like, he needs to keep his head up. Like, crazy things happen, you know what, and it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Eagles, though, this team was good. They didn't have to do a lot of throwing the ball. Their defense got them in great positions. 15 for 25, 121 for Jalen. But I'll tell you who had a giant game. Yes, Miles Sanders scored 2 touchdowns, but Kenneth Gainwell, that dude is nasty.
He's fast.
Oh, dude, he hits the hole and he doesn't go down.
Nope.
He pushes forward. Let's see. Gainwell had about 70 yards on the day total, and he was baller. I mean, Miles Sanders, fantastic. Jalen Hurts, 39 yards. Boston Scott with a little magic as well. This offensive attack that they've got going, where they're just gonna run the ball. I mean, you literally have 2 Hall of Famers on your team that are on your O-line, and not to mention everybody else is picking up the slack.
Yeah.
It's insane to see this team this good. The last 2 weeks, they've only allowed 14 points.
And they can't stop running the ball with success.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Always get yards.
Have to play.
And then I would think one of the best days, or, one of the most action that the 49ers saw was when Trent Williams decided that he was in the WWE and just body slammed some dude.
Yeah, that was, as a captain, that's a bad look to me. Like, you wear the C, you're one of 4 that wear the C.
Yep.
On offense, like, you're a captain.
Exactly.
Be a captain.
I mean, you let your emotions get the best of you, and you're getting a hefty fine.
Like, yeah, you're gonna be frustrated. This is how that offense was gonna be with no quarterback, essentially.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I personally don't think the Niners defense actually didn't play that bad.
Nope.
Yes, they got Was it 31?
31.
Yeah, the 31 was scored on him. All 4 touchdowns, or 3 of them. 3 of the 4 were because of penalties on 3rd down and 4th down.
Yeah. And the first touchdown was
never counted.
He dropped the ball. You know,
they should have been brought. Oh, that was 4th down. Yeah. It was a turnover.
Yep. It was a turnover.
They really didn't play that bad.
Crazy. Shanahan didn't throw the challenge flag. You'd think any possible, like, it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3.
Yeah.
You throw that challenge flag because it's one of the first drives of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they received first. That's right, they did. So, get Brock out there a little better field position, and maybe, like you said, we can't play ifs, ands, or buts, but maybe he doesn't get hurt in that setting.
It at least takes at least a guaranteed 7, because a touchdown was scored, I think it was 2 plays later?
Yeah.
1 play later. But, I mean, oh no, it doesn't, because it's 4th down.
So it would have been a turnover.
It would have been a turnover, and then, like I said, the next 3 were because of a roughing the punter on 4th and 6. It should have been...
It's tough because...
running into.
His body was going towards the punter until the last second, and he kind of turned, and then also getting pushed shouldn't have been a call. But in the grand scheme of things of how the game was going, I don't think it mattered in the slightest, though, because the defense was just so much better.
I mean, but still, that's another 4th down stop.
Right.
They did, even though they get poor field position, they might not even score off of that next drive.
The officiating
still stopped them.
The officiating was just not good on Sunday. It wasn't.
And it was another defensive holding, or was it a hands to the face on 3rd down?
I believe it.
There was I'm getting the games mixed up too. So
yeah, but Eagles dominant win. Congrats on making it to the Super Bowl. It's gonna be fun to see. So let's jump over to probably, as you said, earlier today, was a great game.
I mean, the line was Chiefs -2. They won by 3.
Let's go.
It was a great game. I had nerves, and I had no stake in it.
Right. You know me. I'm a big Burrow guy. I really like Joe Burrow. He's so good and so smart on the football field. But god damn it, get this man somebody to protect him. 4 sacks in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was not great.
That was bad.
I quit watching because I was frustrated. I was upset. I had it on the computer. I was frustrated because it's just like, God, this team is so much better than this, especially in this situation. And then, I mean, he threw 2 picks, which was not great.
One wasn't his fault.
The second pick, man, it was hard because T. Higgins was double covered, and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase were both fantastic last night.
Jamar made a good catch on 4th and 6.
Yeah, and put him on the
6-yard line, and then they ended up tying the game.
Yeah.
On that call was incredible. I mean,
shitty thing. I want to credit Joe a little bit more on his, how smart he is. There was that play late in the game. I believe it was on that drive where they scored that touchdown to tie it up. But they only rushed 4, and the lineman pushed them to the side. And so a giant hole opened up in the middle of the field. And he just ran for the first down. It was like 3rd and 16.
And he got down.
Yeah, and so there's that. I mean, T. Higgins, 6 for 83. And Jamar Chase.
16 was a pass play.
Yeah, and then
completion.
Jamar Chase was 6 for 75.
He didn't have a bad game.
No.
I don't think he did.
I mean,
for how they defended him.
Right.
He didn't have a bad game.
My big thing was there, and I touched on it in the 49er game, is that the officiating from the second half was just weird. Like,
I mean, Patrick Mahomes got, 3 third downs overdone?
yeah.
They're do-overs?
He had 2 fucking do-overs. Like, yeah, you see one guy running in from the top of the screen, but it's like nobody's focused on that guy. Like,
Yeah.
the head referee should have been all over it. Like, it's his job, to make sure that shit's right. And so then they get a penalty on that defensive PI to put him in that, another chance, which shouldn't have been PI to begin with. It was last year in the fucking Super Bowl when I believe Sam Hubbard made that it was either Sam Hubbard or one of their linebackers made an absolutely fantastic defensive play, and it set the Rams up to score, right? He jumped the receiver basically at an angle from behind, had his arm around him but didn't touch him, and swatted the ball down, and it was exactly what happened with the corner. And then they called PI, and even Gene Stachtor was like, yeah, I don't know why they called that, because it wasn't passing interference.
Yeah,
so
he was about 50-50 in agreements with the calls made on the field.
Yeah, and then you had the last play of the game practically where they missed not one, but 2 holding calls that then led to Mahomes getting a basically unnecessary roughness play.
You hate to have the game called that way, but I mean, Mahomes was 2 steps out. Like, he was clearly out.
I agree.
Had to be thrown.
No, I agree.
It just sucks that a good game like that looked like it was going into overtime, ended like that, because Harrison Butker's probably the second best kicker in the NFL right now.
I agree.
He was not missing that kick.
And it's just tough. And then, I mean, let's go to the Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes
He did everything he could.
And the scary part is, and he's moving like somebody that shouldn't be moving on a high ankle sprain. I'm just going to say that right now. Not the greatest.
Well, Brock Purdy's only out for 6 months, and he's probably going to end up with Tommy John. So I didn't know there was a 6-month TJ program. So these guys just get something different.
So I don't know how he was out there, but he was.
It's a 3 to 6 week injury.
And he threw the ball 43 times. It's completed it.
He only ran once, and that was 3rd and 6 on that final drive.
Yeah, and then he had 326 yards and 2 touchdowns.
The pocket passer was crazy.
I'm going to tell you the biggest X factor of this game. Somebody had to step up. And that was Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Well, he was the only one left.
Right.
He went down. Hardman re-hurt his pelvis. Sky Moore was still out there, but they don't really throw it to him that much.
No. But MVS, huge moments all game long for him. Also, Travis Kelce had 78 yards.
Him being on the field was huge.
Yeah, if Travis Kelce's not there, this game might be different. But again,
a little bit easier.
The Bengals have to get competent O-line. They have to think about Joe Burrow having time in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like, that's disgusting. I don't know. It's gonna be a great Super Bowl. We're getting the Kelce Bowl. That's cool.
That's cool.
Predictions.
Cool.
Predictions. Who you got?
Well, I was actually really close with the Bengals-Chiefs score. I said 24-17. I was really close. I think it'll be Philly 31-24.
And what's your reasoning?
For Philly winning?
Yeah.
Their defense.
Yep.
I think they can contain Mahomes. I think they have the speed to do it. I don't know if the Chiefs are really going to stop the run. If they do, you have Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown to throw to with a decent, he's got 2 weeks to heal again.
Mm-hmm.
After already having a bye week for the wild card round, I think Jalen will be 100%. I just think this Eagles team, this offense, is just going to carry them to the promised land.
Yep, I agree.
I do think it'll be very close.
I think that the Eagles will win by 10 or 14. I really do. To cap you off on that, their defense is too fast. I think that their defensive backs, they also activated a couple people that were injured this week to the roster, so now you're giving them 2 weeks to get better, back into football shape, especially for the big dance. And so you're going to see a even scarier defensive team in the Super Bowl. And you're giving Jalen Hurts 2 weeks to kind of just get back in the motion, let his shoulder feel right, and he's going to throw for over 350 yards.
So you said by 10 or 14, right?
Yeah.
The spread right now on, what am I on, DraftKings, is 2.
Yeah.
The Eagles are favored by 2. The over-under is 50. The money line doesn't matter.
I just think that Philly, it's always Jalen Hurts' season.
That's true.
And I'm so glad I got you on the wagon, because
I've been on the Jalen Hurts team.
Right.
I've been on it ever since MMG.
But the big thing is he has been overcome with so much doubt in his career.
That's true.
Got benched in the national championship game for Tua,
Yep.
as we've said. Transfers to Oklahoma and has a phenomenal season. Phenomenal. Says, all right, I'm declaring. Gets drafted 15 overall. They still have Carson Wentz. And I think Carson got hurt.
No,
So-
they benched him.
So they benched him for Jalen. And guess what? Jalen Hurts has been amazing since.
Both of Carson Wentz's backups have taken the Eagles to the Super Bowl, and he has yet to go to one.
Yep. And then there's this guy on TikTok. I think it's like the Carton Daily News or whatever. It's a sports guy. He's bald. Huge Giants guy. He said the Giants are gonna give them hell. Then afterwards, man, they had the easiest road to the Super Bowl. It's like,
Off scene. Gotta love the media.
they've put up 34 and 31 points in back-to-back weeks. Off a week of rest, mind you. And have only given up 14 points.
Yeah.
Come Super Bowl Sunday, this Eagles team is going to be electric.
I just hope it's a good game.
I do too.
I am blackout drunk. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I gotta go to work the next day, so probably won't do that. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for us today. If you are watching over on YouTube, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the bell notification so you know when our videos go live. You can be the first to watch them. Comment question of the day: what did you guys think about Championship Sunday? Let us know down there in the comments, or hit us up over on Twitter if you're listening on Spotify. Leave us a review. Let us know your questions. If we need to improve stuff, let us know. We want to take the criticism. One more time, where can they find you?
Twitter is Realdaygaming1, and the show's Twitter is the Kane and Day Show.
Follow us, guys. Do it. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Killing Kane. We might start streaming again at some point. I don't know. I just haven't felt like it. But anyway, we hope to have a great Super Bowl in 2 weeks. We'll figure something out for Pro Bowl.
You mean flag football?
Yeah, we'll figure something out to cover that week. Cause I don't really want to talk about flag football, to be honest.
Baseball classic.
Boom. There you go. Anyway, guys, I am Kane, and this is Day, and we'll talk to you guys next time.